Hello, I'm EG, and this is another yarn haul video, and I know that all of my videos recently have just been yarn hauls, and so the last thing I needed is more yarn, but I did get some more yarn enough to make a video, so I thought I'd go ahead and do that. And it's sort of a follow-up to one of my other videos, so not only do I have some from Michael's because I had gotten some vouchers from the yarn I'd gotten before, I got to go back to Joann, and so I got some yarn there, and it may be the last haul from Joann. I'm not really sure because I don't really go there that often because it's 30 minutes away from here. And so by the time if I do go back to Joann, they may not even have any more yarn, so I'm not really sure. And then I did get a couple skeins from Walmart, and then I got a skein from Ollie's, one of those Bernat Blanket yarns. And so I'll just show all that off. But I'll go ahead and do the Joann stuff first, because maybe people will stay for the video. It seems to be that's a search term that people have used to come across my videos. But anyway, so this is the Joann stuff. So I got to go to Joann, and they still had a lot of yarn, and so I went ahead and got not a bunch, but like $50 worth. And so they had more of this skein. This is the kind that I got in the last haul video, where they had like 4 skeins of this colorway, which is called, what is this? Aqua Ombre. They had 4 skeins of the colorway, and 3 of them were just like really thin, and then so I only got 1 of them. But they had like a whole bunch of this this time. So I got a bunch of this color, and so there's like 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6. It's just a really pretty color. 7, 8, and 9. And so with the one that I got last time, so I have 10 of these, so that should be enough to make something significant. I don't really know what it would be. But then I also got, and I got to wear my shirt. I went to Joann with my mom, and we got to wear our shirts, and so I crochet so I don't unravel, and it's really cool. And the first time, because I went into Joann twice, just for some random reason, it doesn't matter, but I went into Joann for the first time, and or during the first trip that we were together, and the woman behind the register said, "Oh, I love your shirts," and so she noticed our shirts or whatever, and then the second time I'm wearing these cuff things that I made. This is something I made months ago, and of course I made myself a black one with some gray in it, and then this one in particular, and it's like rainbow colors, and there's a whole story behind this. It feels like it's another video by itself, but it's leftover yarn from my mom made me a pride flag blanket years ago, and it took her like over 10 years because it's a giant king size blanket. It's like has the flag in the middle, and then on the outside it's black, and it has like enough black at the top so you can fold it down, fold it over your pillow. And when I started to crochet, I was going through her old stash because she used to crochet a lot, and she's done a few things since then, but I'm sort of like taking over crochet, and she's getting back into it. But when I was going through her old yarn, I found some remnants of that blanket that she made, just like the little pieces of each one of the colors. And I thought that there's a lot of meaning behind that yarn that she still had in her stash. So I took that yarn and I made her and I these cuffs. And I'll show how I did it. It's not that complicated, but they turn out really nice. And then the second time I went into Joann, and the woman behind the register, this is another one, she noticed it, and she said, "Oh, I love your cuff, it's so gorge." And while I was flattered, I thought how nice it was that she said that. It still made me feel like I was really old, because I thought I would never say the word gorge, and I never have my entire life, and it just showed how young she was. But I thought I was like a compliment, but it felt kind of insulting because I felt like really old. No, it was just like I just felt really old because she had said that, but it wasn't insulting, you know what I mean. It made me feel really old because I thought I'm never going to say that, and I would look ridiculous if I ever said that to somebody. But it just showed how young she was. But see that every single time we went in there, they're just so nice, and they were talking about the yarn, and oh, what are you going to do with all this yarn? This is really nice. And like that, that's what sucks. And like for a company that's going out of business, and these people are like working in you know, in the process of losing their jobs in a month or two, they were so nice, and you would never guess that they were probably inside, you know, worrying about what their next job is going to be when Joann closes. They were so nice, and it's just so sad that I'm losing their jobs, and because they're always really interested in the yarn that you're buying, and like genuinely interested. I know that there are a lot of people that work in stores that say, oh, what are you going to do with this? Or if you're going to the grocery store, oh, is this any good? Like, they don't really care. They're just trying to make conversation. They're those kind of people where that they can't stand silence. I don't mind the silence, but where they have to fill it with something, and so they have to like make conversation. These people, you can tell they are genuinely interested in what you're doing, what you're working on, why you're buying this yarn, what project you have in mind, or like what they're genuinely crafty people and interested in it. It's sad that they're losing their jobs, but whatever. Let me go back. So then I got this. It's Heartland. I've never bought this yarn before. It's Lion Brand. I think I bought Lion Brand before, but this is called Heartland Tweed. And I don't really have any kind of speckled yarn like this. It's sort of like a grayish, like a dark gray, and then has all these little flecks of colorful yarn in it. And I've never really bought any yarn like this, but I thought it was kind of interesting. And the yarn in my Joann was 30% off. It went down to 40% off, so it was down to 40% off. This was like $6.49, but 40% off, whatever that is, $3 or something. And so I got that Heartland Tweed. They only had one of those. And then they had more of the Big Twist. What I was looking for is I was hoping to get more of that Big Twist Living Inclusivity. Even though it bothers me how the color changes are, I still wanted to get it because I started to work on a hat, and I just finished it last night. With the Big Twist Living. So this is what it looks like. I put it on, but I look like an idiot. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I look like an idiot with or without a hat on. So this is what the hat looks like. And so, I mean, it's nice. It's just, I just feel like I look like an idiot with like a toboggan on or whatever. But you know, it's really nice how it worked up, and the weird color changes aren't as obvious on this. But see, like here and so, I just hate how it sort of goes back and forth. But that's just how the yarn is designed. But I did like the colors of this because I think that the dye lot was better with this skein than the one I originally got last year. And so the colors are nice. It's just where it's like sort of these random sections where the color just doesn't feel like it's supposed to be there, and where it just kind of goes back and forth. But you know, otherwise it was a good yarn. And I did add a little bit of metallic black on the edge because I thought I would like to sell something similar to this in the future. What I'll do is I'll actually use the 6 colors, and I'll, you know, try to mimic this in a way, but not. It's going to be consistent when I do it. I'm going to change colors with every color, and then they're going to be perfectly spaced out rows, and I'm not going to keep going back and forth between the colors and stuff. And but I added the little strip of metallic black there because I thought I wanted to make it a little different from, because like I'm sure people out there probably bought this yarn, the Inclusivity, and made hats or whatever, but I thought this will kind of differentiate mine from any that might be out there that somebody might make. And because I love the color black, and then I love, you know, glittery things, and so it's like a little signature thing that can be a part of mine. And so that's what I did that for. And but I did I lost my train of thought. Okay, I did. I actually got it back quick that time. I went on eBay just to see if there were any of these skeins on eBay, and go look on eBay and see that the price people are charging for these. It's ridiculous. I saw one skein on there for like $30. I mean, that is just like, I don't know. I mean, they're just trying to make a business or make a living or whatever, and you know, you can't fault people for trying to make money, but it's shitty. But I don't know, that, you know, because we know what they bought it for, and it's the markup is just ridiculous, and it sucks. But so I don't think I'll, unless I go to Joann between now and, I think all the stores are, you know, definitively closing at the end of March. I mean, at the end of May, but it could be before then if they run out of stuff. If I do go between now and, because it's like in the middle of April, if I do go between now and the end of May and they actually have some of this left, then I'll get some. But I just don't see myself buying any more of this, and so so I'm going to keep this. So this might be the only one that I'll ever make in this color, with this exact colorway. But I will make some in the future that's similar to this with my the way I would design it, and more consistent in the color changes and stuff. But still, but it turned out really nice. And I was afraid that one skein is it's the Big Twist Living, 199 yards. This is the Bi Pride flag. The Serenity or something. Yeah, Serenity. So it's like this size, and when I was doing it, I was thinking, I don't know, I'm going to run out of yarn. I just feel like I'm going to run out. But then it got down to the end of it, and it was like the perfect size. So it is the perfect size to make a hat. So I did finish that. But when I went back to Joann, I got 1, 2 of these, and 3 and 4 and 5, I think. Yeah, I got 5 of these. So I got 4 in the first trip, and then I wanted to get one more in the second trip. And but I'm glad I did, because I know that there's dye lot that you have to take into consideration. But I was really looking at the skeins there the second time, you know, trying to pick out which one to get, and I thought, wow, the colors are like noticeably different, and like just in these, like this one was from the first batch I got, which is, you know, nice, pink and purple. But then when you compare it to this, it's let's see how different the dye lot is. Like the purple is really dark in like not dark in a bad way, dark like more vivid. So this looks, I thought this was really nice, that's why I got it. But then when I got this one, I thought, wow, this looks really nice, and so it makes this one look dull in comparison. But they're just different dye lots or something. But like I could never use these together because the color is so different. I mean that dark purple, it is like almost blue, it's so dark, and this one is like a light purple. No wonder I didn't like the original skein of Inclusivity that I got, because they were kind of dull looking colors like this, even though this is really nice. But I'm talking about the Inclusivity, it just looked kind of dull. Like the Inclusivity I got this time was more like this, like really nice vivid colors, and the one that I got before was like this. But see the difference, I mean, I know this is a crappy camera, but you can tell in the camera like how different, like it almost looks like different yarn. It's just they're so different, and I don't know. I mean, I know that's an issue that you have to take into consideration when you buy yarn and stuff with the dye lots. The whole texture inconsistency I'll never understand, but like I understand the color inconsistencies, but even that, this is so different. I don't know, but I'll use them. I'll just, if I make like a hat out of it, I'm not gonna need to mix like 2 skeins with each other. But if I make like a scarf or something, because I do have a lot of this Bi Pride yarn, I'll have to make sure I match up the few, because it's gonna take more than one skein to make a scarf or something. I'll have to make sure I match them up with skeins that look similar to each other, and not, you know, get this one mixed in with the duller looking one. But I don't know. But I did get 5 of those, and then I got 2 of these. This is Lion Brand Basic Stitch Anti-Pilling. This is a really pretty, my mom picked this out, and she said, oh, look at this. And it's like this golden color, and it has like some like darker, I love yarn that has like a light color, and then it has like a darker color mixed in, where it's sort of, it adds a shadowy effect. It's not just tweed, but like some that has like some darker tones that gives it this shadow effect. It really makes the lighter color stand out. I love to mix lighter colors with black. I made my mama a scarf last year, and it has I used the Red Heart Super Saver Favorite Stripe, and I mixed it with black. It's so nice. I mean, the color, the Favorite Stripe is really pretty just by itself, but when you mix it with black, it almost makes the color stand out more. And so I love yarns like this. There's a red one at Hobby Lobby. I forget the name of it. And it has like red, and it has some dark tones in it too that makes it really stand out. But I love this. So there's only 2 skeins of this, but it's really pretty. It has like this almost like golden color to it. I mean, it looks a little brown on this crappy camera, but in person it's like kind of gold. And the colorway is called Gold Heather. Yeah, Gold Heather. And so it's really nice. I don't know how many skeins of Lion Brand I've ever gotten, but I'm starting to get some of those. They do sell Lion Brand in my local Michaels, but of course they don't have these colors. But it would be nice if they got a lot of Lion Brand, because it seems to be really nice yarn. And then the only other thing I'd gotten at Joann was these keychains. These are so I was about to say the cuss word. These are so cool. What sucks is I was actually working on something like this where I was gonna make a little skein of yarn as a keychain, and then I come across these. Of course, these are like, you know, they don't use like actual yarn, and it's just like a little plushie, and it has the Big Twist label on it and stuff. But I saw this and I thought that's exactly what I wanted to do. Not that you know, my idea of making a little skein of yarn on a keychain is a new idea, or like something that nobody would have ever thought of. But I was kind of excited about it because I did a little mock-up of it, and I still needed to change it a little bit. And then I went through Joann, and then I saw these, and I thought I couldn't believe it. But mine will be a little different than this, but anyway, so I got a purple one, really adorable little keychains or whatever. I might, I'm not gonna have room on my keychain for all this stuff, but what I'll probably do is put it on my Christmas tree. Like I said, I have my Christmas tree up. I still have my Christmas tree up. It's a whole story, but I just love having the Christmas tree up. I've had it up for years, and the I actually got an ornament that is a skein of yarn with a hook through it, and it says crochet on it. It's really pretty. It's over there. If I think about it, I'll show it at the end of the video, but it's on Amazon. But anyway, I might put this on my Christmas tree. I have no idea. They're like little ornaments. But I got a pink one, and then a purple one, and then they had a crochet hook. This is the most adorable thing. I cannot believe they had this. And it says like Big Twist on the handle of it. I mean, it's like a little tiny crochet hook. It's so adorable. I think these were like $8, but they were 40% off or something like that. But just really cool. I'm glad I got these in Joann, and it's sort of like I know I've crapped on Big Twist yarn, and there is inconsistency issues with Big Twist, and I was never really a fan of a lot of it because of how inconsistent the texture was and stuff. But when it's good, when the color's good, and when the texture of it is good, it was a really good yarn. And I do have good memories, even though I've only been in there a few times. I do have good memories of going into Joann and interacting with the people that work there, and how nice that was, and just a really fun store, and just seeing all the yarn. Like I said in one of my other videos, going into my Joann, there's so much more yarn in that store than any other store that I've ever been in, and it was just so much fun to go in there for the first time and seeing all those aisles of yarn, just aisle after aisle after aisle after aisle of yarn, and it was just so much fun. And so I'm glad I'm going to have these as like little, you know, symbolic memories of Joann and their Big Twist, and then the whole experience going in there and all that. But let me put this yarn back in here, and I'll show some more of the haul. While I'm thinking about it, this isn't the first hat that I've made. Like I said, I'm approaching the 1-year anniversary of my crochet journey, and so I'm going to make a big video where I show everything that I've ever crocheted in the past year. And so this isn't the first hat that I've made. The original hat that I made was this black metallic, which you can't really see very well on camera, but it's a metallic yarn from Red Heart Super Saver, and I'd made myself a black one, of course. And the all this is, I forget who I learned this from, and that's another video I need to do in the future, where I talk about who I learned from, and you know, feature the crocheters and the YouTubers or whatever that taught me how to crochet. All this is a wide panel where you go into the back loop only, and then so it adds that, you know, stretch to it, and then you just sew up the side of it, and then you cinch the top. And so it's a really a simple thing to do, and you can see it better on this one. But it creates these little bumps or whatever that add the stretch if you go in the back loop only. And so it's not like a complicated thing. I didn't start off with a magic ring and then go in the round or whatever. I just made like the pattern that I've seen a couple YouTubers use, where it's just like a wide rectangle, and then you know, close it up this way and then you cinch the top. So that's all it is. But anyway, hang on. Yeah, this is an ornament that I have on my tree, and has a little it's all glittery, and it has a skein of yarn, and it has a crochet hook, and it says crochet. It's one of those like glass ornaments. I saw a video on YouTube of how they make these kind of ornaments. God, I couldn't believe how much work goes into that, and how fragile these are. But it's really cool. But I have it on my tree. It's a really pretty ornament. I'm not, you know, in I'm not the people that make these aren't. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I should be. These are like so pretty. You have to get one if you are into crochet. But anyway. But when I went to Joann, they have an Ollie's there, and in my Ollie's they didn't have much of the Bernat Blanket yarn. Not that I would really want any, because I've never been a fan of the texture of it. But I thought it maybe when Ollie's had sent me that ad or whatever that says that they had gotten some discount yarn from a yarn or a craft store that was going out of business. Obviously they meant Joann. And then they bought some of the blanket yarn. I was hoping that, you know, maybe some of the Big Twist or some of the other brands would get mixed in with it, but it was just like Bernat Blanket yarn. And so my Ollie's didn't get many colors of that Bernat Blanket in. Of course, that wasn't a big deal for me because I'm just not crazy about it. But I did see somebody on YouTube show off the. It looks kind of like black and white speckled. It sort of reminds you of something that would like zebra-ish or just like black and white. And but they didn't have any of that in my local Ollie's. So I went to the Ollie's when I went to Joann, and they actually had a skein of that. The label had broken off of it, and then the skein was a little bit messed up in the store, so that's why nobody bought it. But it was only $5, and I thought I'm sort of going on this kick lately of like getting yarns, like because of the Hobby Lobby haul that I got, where I had gotten some yarn that I would never think I would use. Because of that, and some of the other yarn that I got recently at Michael's, which I'll show in a minute, I just thought maybe I should get like a skein of this. It's only $5, and sort of force myself to, you know, make something with it. And even though I'm not crazy about the way that it looks, it may like it would make pretty scrunchies or something. Or I'm not into amigurumi, but if I was into amigurumi, this would probably be nice for amigurumi. But I'll make something with this, and just to branch out and use something that oh my god, what the heck? Oh no, this isn't. Oh, I thought this was a knot. That this is just a knot because it's messed up. I thought it was a knot because it was joined. But I will use this for something. The colors are really cool. I love the color of this, but it's just the texture of it. I've never been a fan of like that yarn. Like even the chenille feels a little bit better than this does. I mean it's nice. It's soft and everything, and it's real squishy. I just the feel of it is just a little odd. As far as like thinking of this as yarn, like even the chenille yarn doesn't really feel like yarn in my head. Just of how I crochet. But I did get a skein of this just to use for something, and it was just kind of sitting there all messed up. Nobody was gonna buy it, but anyway, I bought that at Ollie's. And then as far as the other things, let me do the Michael's yarn, or let me go ahead and do the Walmart. This is like a small haul, but I got the big order from Yarn Inspirations, and the Michael stuff I got before all this other stuff, so it doesn't really matter. It's not really in order, but I had gotten that big order from Yarn Inspirations, and there were two colorways in it that were kind of rough feeling. There were a couple that were rough, but these two right here, they're the Icelandic and Mirage. And so these are nice colorways. Like I said in my other video, these aren't really colors that I would particularly buy just because they're sort of neutral colors. I'm more into like really deep dark blacks, black, or I like really vibrant colors. And so, but I wanted to get these to challenge myself to, you know, branch out and use different colorways. And so I got these. These are just like, these showed up and they were just kind of like the rough kind of red heart. You know, a red heart has texture inconsistencies, and that I don't understand. I can understand the dialogue, but I don't understand how one skein can be really nice and soft, and then the other skein can be like this, and it just like kind of rough. I mean, they use the same kind of materials. I can get, like, if they are dyeing the yarn and they, you know, they get it just like slightly off, then the color won't be exactly the same. But like, don't they use the same materials to make the yarn? I don't understand how the texture can be so different from skein to skein. And so when I got these, I thought, okay, these are nice colors, and I'll use it for something, hopefully something that I could wash just to see if it would soften up the yarn. And so I'd gotten 2 of each of those. And then when I went into Walmart, I was just like checking their yarn, and then I noticed that, oh, they actually do have these 2 colors, because like, I guess I didn't really know, unless they had only gotten these in recently, but I rarely buy like the double skeins unless I really need the skeins for something. But these are just colors that I wouldn't normally pick, so that's probably why I didn't really notice them. But they had the jumbo skeins of those 2 colors, but I was looking at them and I thought, wow, these look more vibrant and more soft than the ones that I have at home. And so I touched them and I thought, wow, these are so nice. I mean, it's still the same kind of color, but these are, like, the texture wise, these are so nice, like, compared to these. I mean, even the yarn feels like thicker and more substantial in this skein than it does in this one. Like the yarn here, it just feels kind of rough and thin, and here it's like really nice and soft and thick and substantial. And so I thought, I know I have these yarns and stuff, I need to use them, but I couldn't pass up getting these, because it's like a double skein, and it's the yarn, like I'm gonna feel more comfortable using this yarn. Like, even the blue looks nicer in this skein than it does in this one. It feels a little muted in this one compared to this one. The blue is nicer in this, but I will be more inclined to use these if I use this version of the yarn. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. I'll probably make something I can wash, or else I can give this to my niece and have her, you know, feel like she has yarn and she can play around with it or something, so she doesn't go through my skein. Like, my yarn room is basically a yarn room at this point, so she doesn't go through my stash like it's a little store for her to, you know, pick and choose whatever she wants. But I did get 2 of those. And then because I'm on this kick to like use yarn that I either have wanted to use or haven't gotten to use, or yarn that I'm just not crazy about, but I want to challenge myself. I did get a skein of that puzzle yarn, because I've been looking at it for a while, but I didn't know how it would crochet up. This is the Premier Puzzle, and it's called Backgammon, I think. This is the skein. You can't even really see it, but it's kind of like burgundy and blue with some dark blue mixed in. It's just a really pretty color. There's some gray in there too. A really pretty colorway. This is the one that I saw at my local Walmart market. How it ended up there, I have no idea, because I don't sell yarn. But they had a couple skeins of this, and they were on clearance for like $11 and something. How it ended up there, I have no idea. And priced it was, because when you go to the regular Walmart, these are only $6. Which is what I paid for this. And so I did get a skein of this because I wanted to try this out sometime, but I felt like, you know, I already have plenty of yarn, I don't need to buy it. But I'm buying all this yarn lately, I might as well buy this. And so I did buy a skein of that. I did buy a skein of this, their Mainstays, what's this, pink and something pink blend. Because I had, my niece was using some of this to make something, or like to crochet or whatever, and I went ahead and gave her I had used some of this yarn out of this skein of like hang on. I had used some out of the skein of this that I had given her. I made some bookmarks or whatever out of it, and it's a really nice yarn from it's Walmart brand, Mainstays. And so because she was working with it, you know, working on something with her crochet, I went ahead and gave her the rest of that skein. But then I thought, I hope that they still have some of this, because I had made the bookmarks I had made out of this were the regular trade paperback, and I wanted to make some mass market paperback bookmarks too. And but back then when I was making the bookmarks, when I first started crochet, I didn't really think about making mass market paperback size bookmarks, and so I wanted to do that eventually. But then when I gave her the skein, I thought, I don't have any more of this, hopefully they'll still have some, and they did, and so I got another skein of that. to make more bookmarks or whatever. So that's like the Walmart haul. Not, you know, many things, but that's about it. Hang on. Alright, now the Michaels, sorry, God, it's hot in here. And it's, I feel like Lucy. Like I said, I'm a huge Olive Lucy fan. I feel like, you know, in the Vitamin D Vegemin episode, when she's like, it's hot in here. Like, you know, it's really hot in here. I hate this time of year when it's cool, and then, or it's so cool that you need to have the heat on. This is a completely random story that you'll probably skip through. Where it's cool enough in the mornings to like have the heat on, but then as the day goes on, you need to turn the heat off so you can turn the air back on and all that kind of stuff. I hate that. I don't have central air. I just have like a furnace hole and an air conditioner in the window. So it's like going back and forth. I hate that time of year when it's like up and down the temperatures. And I had a cowl on. I was gonna you know, have that on, and you know, have my like wrist thing. Even my wrists are starting to feel kind of hot just having these cuffs on. Luckily this shirt is I don't like wearing really thin shirts because of like when I sweat it just like sticks to me, and I'm a big fat ass, and I don't like wearing really thin shirts like that. But this is a thin, but it's like it doesn't stick to you. It's like a really airy shirt. So if you buy this on Amazon, it's like a really nice shirt, even for, you know, big people like me. But God, it's so hot in here. Must be the lights. No, that's another loose thing. And oh, that's another thing. If you watch any of my videos, I'm gonna make all kinds of TV and movie references. Like it's like I can instantly do it because I'm so obsessed with television and movies and stuff, and I have, you know, a huge physical media collection. It's gonna be a big part of my videos and my website network. And I just constantly watch TV and movies, and I have all kinds of TV and movie references. What I referenced the last video, Monica and Barbados, because of my hair. Like it's that easy for me to come up with those things, and I have all kinds of quotes and whatever. Anyway. Okay, so the Michaels haul. Let me go back to my notes so I know. I know I gotten a $5 voucher. Okay, so as I was filming my last video, my Michaels haul, my Michaels haul, I literally got a $5 voucher as I was filming the video. And I knew that I was probably going to get a $5 voucher, and then I had earned another $5 voucher, but neither one had come yet. And so they sent me a $5 voucher as I was filming the video. So I thought, okay, I need to get some more yarn or something and use up the $5 voucher. And then I bought some stuff, and then I got another voucher. I thought it was going to be the $5 one. They sent me a $15 one, so it was like, you know, $20. I don't know. I mean, it's great. I love that, but I just thought, what am I going to buy now? Not all of the voucher went to yarn. I bought my sister-in-law something when I was there, so it's not all the yarn. And then I actually went over the voucher, not because of that, but because I bought some other yarn too. But the I can't remember. Let's see. I think this was in the first haul. I can't remember. They're all just so mixed up. I went ahead and bought, because I wanted to challenge myself. I thought, instead of buying like just some basic colors, which, you know, I can get whenever I need them if I ever need any, I thought I want to take this opportunity to, because I had gotten a couple random skeins of yarn that I wouldn't really use to begin with, just because of like not being familiar with it. I wanted to use these vouchers to, you know, get some, you know, more unique yarns and force myself to try different yarns. And so I've been, you know, complaining about cotton yarn and stuff, and so I thought maybe I can get those, since they're on clearance. They have those two big cakes of cotton yarn. It was Karen cakes. Is it Karen or Caron? I don't know. I've heard people call it Caron, and I thought, here I'm talking about Karen. It's Karen cake. I don't know, the Karen cakes, the cotton cakes. I knew that they had two cakes for $5 each, and they were, you know, on clearance. And I thought maybe I should force myself to get them, even though the texture is not as soft as regular acrylic, and it seems to be thinner. Even though I think this is a number 4 weight. Yeah, it is, but it's a thin 4 weight. But I thought I want to, you know, try to get that. I wasn't going to, because when I first felt it, it's these Karen cotton cakes. These right here, and the colorway is called, and like I said, I don't really know if these are being discontinued or my store was just putting them on clearance to get them out of the store to make room for other yarn, because I don't think that they're getting rid of this colorway, but I'm not really sure. This is called Frozen Yogurt, and like the color's really nice. I mean, it feels more like like those creamsicles. Well, I'm not really crazy about those, but it feels like creamsicle colors, like the orange and with like a little bit of ivory in it, and then it has like some grayish color swirled in too. But like the colors are really, I have no problem with the colors, even though it's a little bit pastel. But it just the colors are nice in these, but it's just the texture is just off. I'm not crazy about the texture. But then, so I sort of picked them up and I thought, no, I don't really want to get them because the texture is just off. And so I thought, if I had this urge to like buy some cotton yarn, just to force myself to, even though I think I have a skein in there, because I was making a bookmark. It's another story, which I'll talk about in another video. But I had bought some that looks kind of clay colored, and I made a bookmark out of it. I didn't like the texture of it. I ended up turning it into a cuff for my niece, but I wasn't crazy about the texture, and so I thought maybe I can get like a little tiny skein. I know they have those little tiny skeins of cotton yarn, but I thought, God, when I felt it, I thought this is really, really rough. And like I compared the little cotton to this, and I thought, as much as I don't like this texture, this is actually softer than those little tiny skeins were. And so I thought, okay, it made me feel better about the texture of this, even though it's different. I hate to be crappy, but like the Red Heart Super Saver feels worse than this does, and this is cotton yarn. And so I thought, if I can use this, then I can use this cotton yarn. I don't really want to get those those little tiny skeins of cotton. It turns out these are I thought, why is this so nice compared to that other cotton yarn? I mean, not that it's nice where I'm 100% happy with it, but why is this so different than that? And then later on when I got home, I realized this isn't 100% cotton. This is 60% cotton and 40% acrylic. So that must be why this feels a little bit better than like regular cotton. So I don't want to get one of those like little skeins of cotton. It would hurt my hands using that stuff. I don't know, just awful, like really hard and rough. I'm not really crazy about it, but this I'll feel okay about using, and because it does have some acrylic in it. And it was just weird how, like, when I felt this, because I'm so used to acrylic, this just felt kind of rough. And then the second I felt the 100% cotton and how rough that is, then I felt this and I thought, okay, this is actually softer than I thought if you compare it to 100% cotton. So anyway, so I did buy these two, and I don't know what I'm gonna use with these, but because these are cotton blend, I want to try to make something like functional with these, because I know that like acrylic, you can make functional things with acrylic, but I'm just saying I want to utilize the fact that this is cotton yarn and make something more functional out of the cotton yarn, but I don't know what it'll be. But I did get those to challenge myself, and then I did get a skein of that loops and threads, facets. It's I don't know. It's gonna be a nightmare. I feel like it's gonna be a nightmare to work with. It's some of the most beautiful yarn in my whole stash. It's gorgeous yarn. I mean, the colors in this, just really vibrant, blues and teals and purple and red and pink, and just the most beautiful colorways you've ever seen. But the texture of this is just, I don't like how it's so splitty or whatever, and like the roving yarn. If you're into roving yarn, like just the inconsistency with how the yarn is. At one point it's like really thin, and then like just these two strands that I put my finger under, how different they are. Let me try to get these on camera. Like just these two right here, how inconsistent they are compared to each other. One of them is like really thin, and then the other one, one of them is really thin, and then the other one is thicker, and some of the yarn is even thicker than that. And but like the end of it, let me try to pull out just a little bit. The way this is just so, you can't really see it because of how bad this camera is. But the way that the yarn just splits like this, and you can just kind of like pull this apart to the point where you can actually pull it like that, like, you know what I'm saying, like that. Like that I don't like about this yarn. If you just pull it taut or whatever, it won't do that. But if you split the yarn, like what if you're in the middle of a project and you accidentally split the yarn with your hook, and then it starts to pull out like that, like it could completely pull apart. I don't know. I haven't used this, so I may be wrong. Like, you're not going to pull it apart to the point where I did it just now, but that's what I would be afraid of would happen if you are in the middle of something and you snag it with your hook, and I don't want that to happen where it actually the piece pulls apart. I don't know, but I had the voucher, whatever, and so I didn't really pay for this yarn, so I thought I'll use it and try to branch out and use something different. I love the colors of this, so I had to use it, or I had to buy it, and just to see if it'll be good to use. But anyway, so those are like the challenging ones for myself, or not really all of them, but and then with the $15 voucher, that's where I bought the thing from my sister-in-law. And then they did have, I was just going to get these skeins. I gotten some of this. It's the Loops and Threads Charisma. This colorway is called, should be called Beetlejuice. Dragonfly Multi. It's like greens and purples and some black. It feels like Beetlejuice. Even the like I looked at this yarn and I thought the same thing. And the women at the register who were just completely nice, and Michael's too, just like Joann. They were looking at this and they said something about like Beetlejuice, and I said that I thought the same thing when I bought this. But it's those kind of colors. I bought a skein of this. It was like with one of my very first vouchers when I first started to go into Michael's, and it was like the multi-color one. I don't know the name of the colorway, but it's like the one with like the rainbow colors in it. And I made a bookmark out of it, but it's too thick because this is bulky yarn. This is a bulky 5 yarn, and it just didn't turn out right as a bookmark or whatever. But I didn't really know what to use it for, because I wanted to use my voucher for a skein of yarn, and so I bought that back then. So anyway, I bought this this trip, and so I bought 2, 3, I think. Yeah, 3 skeins of this, and these are more expensive than like the regular skeins, so I just bought 3 of these. And then I did see some yarn in the clearance section that wasn't because they have like this really awful feeling wool back there that I wouldn't buy, and then they have like this really thick, like it's not like thin blanket yarn like that, it's like really thick, and which I just wouldn't want. But they did have this back there that was new for the clearance section, and it's another yarn where I feel like I probably wouldn't ordinarily buy this just because it's thin. I don't know how hard it's going to be to crochet with thin yarn, but I don't want to completely discount it because it's a really pretty color and it's really soft. It's called Loops and Threads Snuggly Wuggly, and then it's a light 3, so like a 3-weight yarn, and so I'm not really used to. Like if I use this and it's hard to work with for me because I'm so used to like medium 4-weight acrylic, I can always double this up or do that like S triple up thing. I did that with something else I made. It's like this tip where that I saw on YouTube, where if you like lay out a piece of yarn in like the shape of an S, then you can make it into like a 3-strand thing, and then you keep pulling the strand through the loop as you need it, and it just is basically like taking 1 strand of yarn and turning it into 3, where you don't have to like use 3 skeins of yarn to triple up something. I wish there was a tip like that with doubling up. You could pull it from the outside too, I guess, if you find the center pull, but I love that little tip, but it was really cool. I can always do that with this if I just get frustrated using thin yarn. But I don't know. But they did have 3 skeins of this. They didn't get rid of this particular kind of yarn. They still had these colors of this yarn on their shelf. And this is, did I say the name of the color? No, I don't think I did. This is called, oh, I didn't even say the color. It says like an violet. Okay, oh, duh. So yeah, it's violet, and they had this brand in different colors. They just didn't have the violet over there on the shelf, so I guess they were getting rid of this color. So they didn't even have like a price sticker on this, and I thought I better go check to make sure that this is clearance and somebody didn't just put it there and try to trick somebody into buying, or like you just think, oh, I don't feel like finding where to put it, and just like putting it back or putting it back there where the clearance stuff was. So I took it up to the register, and she scanned it, and it was like $3. And so I went ahead and got these 3 because I thought, it's a really pretty colorway, and it's really soft. It feels like that Big Twist Living. It's like that soft, but it's thin, and so I don't. I don't know, I'm not really looking forward to using, but I thought I want to challenge myself. I don't want to sit here and just like bash all kinds of yarn. Oh, I hate cotton yarn, and I hate thin yarn, and I hate furry, hairy yarn, and I hate like thick yarn. Like, and then if somebody says, well, you know, what about it? Did you not like working with it? And I said, I never worked with it. Then I look like some ignorant idiot, you know, complaining about something that I know nothing about. So I thought I'll at least, you know, spend the this was like out of my money, not out of the credit, because I went over it because of you know, all this other yarn, but I wasn't expecting to buy this. I would have had enough if I just got the Beetlejuice yarn and the thing from my sister-in-law, but went ahead and bought this, and so, because, you know, challenge myself. And so I think that's about all the yarn and the, oh, let me see if there's anything else. One thing I did, when I was thinking about this Red Heart yarn that was really rough, I was wondering if there was a way to wash this, and I was almost thinking, like, what could I put this in to like actually wash it as a skein? Because I don't have a dryer, I just hang dry my clothes. Like trying to dry this would probably be a nightmare to dry a whole skein of yarn. I guess you could like pull it apart or whatever, but I don't know if you could really hang dry a skein of yarn. I'd be afraid that the middle would still stay wet or whatever and mold. So, but I was thinking, can you like put it in? I was thinking like pantyhose or something like a one of those mesh bags you can put delicates in. And then I looked up like pantyhose wash yarn or whatever. I googled around and searched on YouTube, and that Nastasia channel showed like actually taking a pair of pantyhose and like sticking a skein in it, and but then she showed like drying it on low or whatever, and but I don't have a dryer, and I'd be afraid that all kinds of traffic going by. I'd be afraid that the yarn just wouldn't dry well enough without, you know, a little bit of a dryer. So I don't know. I think what I need to do is make something that I will wash and then see if that will soften it up after it's already done. But anyway, and then the only other thing I think that I wanted to talk about is I was using that inclusivity, and then I started to pull it. It got to the purple, and it's just another frustrating thing about yarn. So let me try to do this. I'm gonna do this. So it sort of got like bumpy here. God, you can't even see it. It sort of got like bumpy, and then all of a sudden it sort of felt like I was using roving yarn, because there was this section here that was like this. Like I don't know why the yarn messed up like that bad, but it's sort of turned into this big chunk here, and I thought, am I using roving yarn now? Like what the heck? So I had to cut that out and tie it off or whatever. But I just thought that was like a mistake in there, I guess. But anyway, just wanted to show that. So I think haul-wise, that's all that I have to show. What I'm going to do, because I have all these different kinds of yarns that I never really saw myself using, or you know, have had all kinds of preconceived ideas about, and just would never buy them because of like just assuming that they wouldn't be easy to work with. What I feel like I want to make a video where I force myself to use all of these kinds of yarn, you know, the facets and the cotton yarn, and as like a challenge for myself, you know, figuring out what to make with these really unique yarns and trying to see why they were made in the first place, and if you can work with them, if I can get over my prejudice about them and work with them without, you know, having these preconceived ideas of oh, this just isn't going to work, and this yarn sucks, or this yarn feels awful, or like whatever. I want to try to force myself to make something with these yarns, and like the ones I gotten from Hobby Lobby, like the hairy yarns, or like the really soft yarns, or like the thin yarns from Michaels. That just feels like something like I want to go on a challenge for myself to, you know, try to figure out something to use with all of these, something to use these yarns for, and so that'll be a video in the future, maybe, where I try to use all these yarns. But anyway, I think that's about all for right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and like and subscribe and comment down below, all that kind of stuff. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you watched it to the very end. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.